My name is Brian. I'm with High Performance Insurance.
I'm Eric Briggs with High Performance Insurance. We're a Tucson-based insurance agency that does business in California, New Mexico, and Arizona.
I have over 20 years experience in insurance. I've worked with both captive agencies and brokerages before starting our own brokerage.
Our focus when we opened was really race cars and classic cars. Those are fun niches that we decided to go after.
And when we were starting our agency, we decided we don't want to be like normal agents. We want to have fun. I mean, everybody has to work. Not everybody gets to have fun while they work.
A phrase that we use at our insurance agency, which is kind of funny, was drive fast, take chances. And that comes from Brian. But I love it. You know, it's kind of irreverent, but it's about enjoying life. Although we're a general insurance agent, we do home, auto, business, and life. We focus on classic cars and race cars because we're car guys. So instead of being behind the desk during the day, many times we're out promoting events that our clients have.
So we got into the car show world. We promote car shows, we sponsor car shows, we've held our own. We work with other people to put on car shows. We've gotten into racing, drag racing, NASCAR.
And it made sense for us to really focus on events because of the fact that insurance, when you think about it, can sound boring. And to do things the same old boring way as most agencies would do was not who we are. So we decided, let's do something based around the passion that we have and find a way to make an excuse to be around people. And so it was very easy to do that because we're always at car shows and races, the NASCAR track or the drag strip. And it's just a great deal of fun, having a lot of fun.
Not only do we enjoy being at the events, we can cover the cars as well. We got specialty companies that really know how to take care of your baby, your car.
Anyone that's involved in racing or in classic cars has a passion for it, we're your guys.
In my experience, I've seen problems with home claims, problems with car claims, things that people didn't know about beforehand that we try to educate them on before something happens. Like for instance, is your carrier going to cover mold? Is it going to cover pack rats in your car? Is your carrier going to cover you if your street floods? Do you have flood insurance? Do you even need flood insurance in a desert? Most people don't realize just how many areas out here can flood and how often it happens.
A lot of people, when they start shopping for certain things, they almost have like a grocery store approach. They just go in, they load the cart, and they get it done as fast as possible. Insurance is not the time to do that. Insurance is, in some ways, highly personal, because if you don't have the adequate coverage, it can have catastrophic consequences. You know, it's not the time to find out that beautiful car that you put your money into and you have all the receipts for. The insurance company comes back to you and tells you it's worth $6,000 when the paint job was $8,000. You don't want to find that out the hard way. You need to have a conversation with an agent that's knowledgeable about what you're insuring.
One thing, by not having the proper carrier to take care of your car, even though some companies will say they have a stated value policy, most carriers out there, what they do is they provide you coverage. For example, if your car is covered up to for $50,000, if they can find a like car for $40,000, they're only going to pay you $40,000. We work with carriers that if you're covered for $50,000, they cut your check for $50,000. They don't mess around with the values. They don't say, well, you know, we found this car back in Mississippi that's only worth, it's only $30,000, so that's all we're going to give you.
Many times the conversation that we have is not about lowest priced. I don't talk about being the low price leader. That's not what we want to be. We want to be making sure that we consult with the client to make sure that they have the best possible solution that hopefully they will not have to use. Because insurance is pure risk. In a perfect scenario, you pay insurance and you never really have to use it, especially from the standpoint of an accident with injury.
I have a great example for that. I had a customer that was leaving a mall, and he was turning right onto a street where you're only allowed to turn right. He was looking over his left shoulder so he can watch for oncoming traffic, never saw a pedestrian coming from the right side. He ran over and actually killed the pedestrian. He was sued for $1.25 million. He had $250,000 of liability on his auto. He had $1 million umbrella policy, and the company paid out the full $1.25 million to the woman's family. Had he not had that umbrella policy, his wages would have been garnished for that extra $1 million in coverage. He could have lost his retirement savings. really could have lost, and they could have attached lien on his house. He could have lost everything he had. So it's important to make sure that you have the proper coverage for that.
Let's say you got your dream car, and you've saved up for it, and you think you've got it budgeted. But what you haven't thought about is the fact that you've got a 15-year-old son or daughter that's getting ready to start driving. Do you know in most cases the insurance company will attach that driver to the most expensive car in the house? If it's a high-performance car, all of a sudden you have a brand new driver that's say 16 to 17 years old that's been attached to that sports car, that dream car that you have. Your premium goes through the roof. So it's things like that that it's good to consult with your insurance agent so you can see what the ramifications of certain decisions might be. Because it may be the difference between you deciding to wait 2 years to buy that car or biting the bullet and paying that premium that's going to skyrocket because that child is now attached to that car.
You want your liability coverage to protect you, protect your assets, things you have worked hard for to build up, something that protect you from what people can take away from you. Because in this day and age, with the economy the way it has been, people will take anything they can possibly take if you are responsible in an accident.
Many times, we should be consulting when a person wants to buy a house because the insurance policy can make it to where you can't, if you don't have the right policy or if the insurance costs you too much, you may not be able to afford that mortgage. You know, things that people don't think about. So insurance is important and it needs to be thought of as an investment.
I've seen examples where the kids threw a party while mom and dad were out of town. They burned down mom and dad's house and the fire spread to the neighbor's house. And the parents lost their retirement savings because they had to pay for the neighbor's house. Their liability only covered a third of the value of the home because they were undercovered. So it's things like that. That's why we ask detailed questions, why we try to get an idea of how much you need to be protected for. Because it's not just so much how much damage you might do to somebody's property. It's really how much somebody could take away from you if they sue you. That's really what you're trying to cover. How much do you need to protect?
What's good about us is because of the fact that we're brokers, we don't have just one captive program. Because it's hard to say you're a consultant if you only have one solution.
Best thing to do, call us. Set up an appointment. We'll sit down with you. We'll go over your information. We'll review what you have. And even if you decide not to switch your policies with us, the fact of the matter is, at the end of it, you're going to be better informed. I guarantee you, though, you're going to like the way we do business. You're going to like dealing with us. We really do put our emphasis on you, the customer, you, our client. We're more concerned with doing what's right by you than what's doing right by us.